Hello, Productivity Committee and agents from around the country. This is Jake Ancarelli, Keller Williams Realty in Tampa Bay. You are dialing into our Productivity Committee conference call line. I am the ALC Productivity Committee Chair for the Clearwater Market Center in Tampa Bay, and we meet on this line once a week for about 15 minutes to talk about our goals, hold each other accountable, mastermind around some business challenges, and yet once a month, we also do a mastery session with a mega agent. So I'm super excited about today because today we have on Emily Marchese from New Jersey. Emily, are you on the call?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Thank you. So everyone who's getting on the call right now, this call is being recorded, and so I'll have an opportunity to send this out to everyone after the call, as well as everyone's going to be muted when they jump on, and we'll have an opportunity once Emily talks for a little bit to ask her a few questions about how she's running her business. And yet I'm really excited. So Emily, thank you again for carving out some time to talk to agents here.
Yeah, awesome. My pleasure.
Cool. So Emily, you're in the Jersey Shore area, kind of South Jersey Shore, Atlantic City. You've been in real estate for quite some time. Last year you did 124 units for around $37 million in volume. And so, I mean, absolutely great amount of business that you're doing. So what I'd like to do is kind of open this up. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about where you're located and about your business, and we'll dive in there.
Sure. So, I'm right near Atlantic City. So most of you probably know it more as the South Jersey Shore. I service everywhere, in New Jersey, but my specialty is really the Jersey Shore community, coastal region, flood zones, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. I've been in this area. I'm originally from Philadelphia. I vacationed here as a kid at the Jersey Shore. And one summer I came down and just never went back after I graduated college. And shortly thereafter I got my real estate license, and I've been here ever since.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your business. What does your business look like, and or what does your team look like, and kind of what are you guys doing to stay productive?
Yeah, so my team right now, I've recently just merged with another small team. She kind of started out as a director of ops for me, a little trial run, about 8 months now. We just launched a new brand, Rockstar Real Estate and Media Group. We're really excited about that. It's just a couple weeks old, but it's been, in the works for about 8-9 months. And we're trying to bring excellence to our clients, not only, on the sales level, but also on the personal level, to ensure that, we're getting face-to-face with our database and nurturing those relationships so that we can gain a lot of repeat and referral business. I've been kind of doing this since 2003, and for the most of my career I was doing it the wrong way. Just kind of turning and burning units. And now I realize that there's such a, tremendous amount of money to be made by continuing those relationships. So that's my main focus at this point, is to just be the best I can for my clients, whether it's an investment property, a first-time home buyer, or second home vacation property. That's where we're headed. We're headed in that direction, and everything's looking good. Right now we have 3 agents. We're down 2. We did have 5 at the end of last year. I'm kind of trying to scale down my team into not so many people and into more qualified people that really share the same vision as my new partner Christina and I do. And it's all about excellence. So we have an awesome admin. She's full-time. She's a rock star. I probably went through 10 admins prior to her, and this girl is, they say talent pushes you. She's pushing us 24/7. So she's an awesome addition to the team.
That's awesome. It's funny. I think after, we all were in family reunion and hearing Gary and then even Spring Masterminds, it's like everyone is going back to the database if it had been neglected before. I mean, we're in the same scenario. We're just doubling down on our efforts to then maintain our relationship. So that's awesome. So I know a majority of your business comes from sphere of influence, past clients, referrals, and in that avenue. What are you guys doing to continually connect with the people in your database, your sphere of influence, and your people?
Well, one thing that we did was we started a Facebook group about 9 months ago. Christina really took the reins on that, and she built the Mean Moms of Atlanta County, and it's all about, it's filled with thousands of mean moms in the area. We call them mean moms, but mean moms are the moms that, they tell their kids, even when they don't want to hear interest. And we really try to network with them. We're putting on not only real estate events, but also an event coming up on July 11th. We partnered with local big attorneys at law, and we're putting on a nice professional networking event with lawyers, other realtors outside the brokerage and inside KW. And that's just a good time to get together and, brainstorm, kind of like a mastermind, but within the profession of the surrounding types like attorneys and title companies and mortgage companies. So we spearhead that, and that's a really awesome event. We did it last year for the first time. It worked out well. It's pretty big hype right now. Everybody's excited for it. And then we have a movie event that we're doing at a local movie theater that just had a huge renovation. It's the premiere coming out of The Lion King. We invited all our past client database. We asked them to bring their kids and their grandkids, and we're really pumped for that. That's the end of July. August, we have a Back Bay cruise. So that's adults only, past client database, getting them out on the boat, getting face-to-face, some giveaways, watching the sunset, having some pickies and drinks, just to keep getting belly-to-belly with our clients. That's our main objective right now.
That's awesome. So I hear that you've got a nice calendar of events coming up. I'm sure that, so based on what you told me, is that you realized that going after the new business was more expensive, a little bit more challenging than just keeping the people who you already know and being excellent to them. So how has the response been as far as your conversations during lead gen time changed from going after the new business versus maintaining the relationships?
Yeah, I mean, the conversations have changed because, I'm not trying to hunt new people down as much as I'm putting the real priority in providing value to the people who already like, know, and trust me. It's actually very pleasant to pick up the phone and call someone, and they're happy to hear from you, versus picking up the phone and calling from someone and they get mad that you're calling and they hang up on you. It's a lot different experience, and, it's great because we're staying top of mind and we're asking for those referrals, and the people, they want to refer their friends and family to us. So it's actually a breath of fresh air. Instead of going out and getting new business, we're getting new business via referrals. It's really been life-changing. I mean, the only thing I could say is my MAPS coach has kind of led us in this direction, and I'm extremely grateful for her because it's a different world now.
Sure. That's awesome. And so looks like based on what you sent over here, the one thing you are doing to really attract some new people into your world is open houses. So could you touch a little bit on what your mentality is and what your process is for the open house to have really run that 7-level open house?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a big believer in open houses. I mean, especially I'm in a secondary vacation type community. People are here predominantly on the weekends. They go back to their primary Monday through Friday. Open houses were always a big staple for us, but taking it to 7th level has really been life-changing. We make those immediate relationships right then and there on the spot, but even more so, we're driving the traffic in before the open house even starts. It's like open house starts when the open house gets scheduled, and we try to schedule that the Tuesday before. So we really have a good 4 to 5 days where we're hitting the phone, circle prospecting, letting all the neighbors know that we're out, putting the signs out ahead of time, making sure that when they come through that they register, and hopefully they're walking out signing a buyer's agreement.
Sure. Well, that's awesome. Cool. So then anything else you guys are doing besides leveraging hard on your sphere and doing open houses?
Well, I recently read Profit First. So one of my, main objectives is to be as profitable as I possibly can. I'm pretty profitable in comparison to where I was when I started with my coach 2.5 years ago. I pretty much was spending every dollar I was making and went from being, between 35 and 40% profitable. So that's an improvement, but I'd like to be even more profitable. So that's really our main focus right now. Like for all of these events that we're having with our past clients, none of them are really costing us any money. It's amazing. We're getting sponsorships, from Cutco to attorneys to title to lenders. We're getting giveaways. So we're really not spending any money, and that's my main goal, is to stop spending money.
No doubt, right? The best way to keep it is not to ever spend it. So then what did your conversation look like with some of those sponsors? How do you get them on board to then buy into, being a sponsor for you? Yeah,
well, I mean, you'd be surprised what these people will do to get in front of, an audience of 400 to 500 people. The movie theater, we're predicting that we're going to have between 400 and 500. So that's a lot of people to get in front of, and a lot of those clients have done business with, say, my lender of choice. I have a couple go-to lenders. A lot of them have already worked with him. So, of course, he wants to stay top of mind to them. He doesn't mind, forking out $500 to $1,000. I mean, we run them on a pretty lean budget, but believe it or not, 4 or 5 sponsors can pay for your whole event.
Yeah, I was going to say, at a movie theater event with 400 or 500 people going, what's the typical cost for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, well, we've run them as honestly the first couple that we were thinking about, they were about $750. This one's going to be great. It's probably, the cost is around between like $2,700 and $2,900. So this one we're really going all out, but you can run them like bare bones for about $750.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. Well, that's great to hear, because then also you're also looking at that B2B relationship being built through the vendors, and just giving them the opportunity.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And the people love it. They feel really special. They love the giveaways. We're going to be getting, a good bit of referrals from this upcoming event. I think probably at least 10 referrals right out of the gate, right at the event, and then probably we'll continue to follow up with them, and we'll probably get another 5 to 10. So maybe out of this one event, we'll probably have close to 30 referrals.
That's awesome. That sounds great. So what I'd like to do, anything else you'd like to touch on as far as what you're doing to stay in productivity before we kind of open it up to some questions from the audience?
A couple other things. I mean, getting up early has kind of been a game changer for me. I wasn't usually an early bird. I really pushed myself to get up at 5 a.m. That's made a significant impact. I tried to listen to the podcast, whether it's the MAPS podcast or, any kind of teaching things, a little something, 20 to 30 minutes a day, just to kind of get my head right. Instead of listening to like music while I'm in the car, I just flip it on while I'm on the road. I think those have been the biggest game changers for me, and really just studying the profit, because, at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with profit. It doesn't matter if it's small or big, it's still there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I hear that. Cool. All right, well, that's all awesome information, and what I'd like to do now is to make sure we open it up to some questions from the audience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the Q&A mode, and I believe it's *6. I think your system is likely going to tell you that it's *6. So if you'd like to ask a question, Emily, I'll keep talking, and as I see questions come in, I'll open it up to the and Emily, I think you and I are still on. You still there?
I'm still here.
I never know when I click that button if it's going to just terminate everything or not. Cool. All right. So if you do have a question, *6 will then put you in the queue, and then I'll open it up. In the meantime, I wanted to hear a little bit more. I mean, we've been pushing in our business a little bit more towards client events and stuff like that. And so looks like I do have one pending question. Let's see. from Michael. Go ahead and ask your question, Michael.
Good afternoon. Great information.
You there? Are you on?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can't really hear you. Yep, there you are.
All right. Thank you so much. I had a question regarding open house, and you stated that you put signs out ahead of time. I guess the first question is when do you start putting those signs out, and have you had any challenges with people showing up before the open house?
No, actually what I did was they have those directional arrows that you can buy. Mine just are a straight arrow, and it says open house at the top. I took a vinyl sheet of paper, and I cut it in a rectangle, and I put it over the bottom where you would normally Sharpie in, like Saturday 10 to 2 or 10 to 12. I put a little vinyl thing, and then now I use an expo marker so I can just erase it with every one. And I try to get those signs out no later than Thursday. That way they're out for a full 48 hours.
And
okay, great.
So you're writing the day and time on that with a dry erase marker?
Yeah, because if you use a Sharpie on the sign itself, you can't really erase that.
Sure.
So to make it reusable and not have to worry about little riders to stick on it, I just put like a plain white vinyl sticker that I bought in a sheet, and I cut it out to fit the little white bar under the open house word. And I use an expo, and I just put Saturday 10 to 2. Put the directional arrow pointing it, and then in the morning of, we put a big flag, a red, white, and blue flag. It's like, 15 foot high, and it waves with the wind, and it just to grab additional people's attention that are driving by.
Awesome. We should be a blog like real estate life hacks.
Yeah. What you can do to save $1 with open house signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, if you got them custom and you were like, all right, well, I could do it 11 to 1, I could do 12 to 2, I could do 10 to 2, 9 to 11. So now the vinyl sticker works great.
Cool. Awesome. Mike, hey, thanks for your question. If anybody else has a question, *6 will open it up to you. I wanted to talk a little bit more about your client events because we are moving in that direction. And as we get questions, I'm going to break from that so I can let other people talk. And I do see the other one that came through. So looks like, Hernan, you're on. If you want to *6, you ask your question.
Hi, Jack. Yes, this is Hernan here in Miami. I have a question. What script do you use when you call your database? Do you use Forth? And if you use Forth, what's the phrase that you use to ask for real estate? Thank you.
So, hi, Miami. I love Miami. It's my favorite place to go. I'm a south of Fifth, South Beach kind of girl. But yeah, when we just recently called the database to let them know about our movie event. And we just basically said, hi, it's Emily. I just wanted to give you a call and let you know we're having a premiere of The Lion King. It's going to be Saturday, July 27th at 9 a.m. I want you to bring your kids and your grandkids, and you're going to get soda and popcorn and all that fun stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. And in the meantime, do you know anybody who would like to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 12 months? And, most of the time, they say, well, yeah, my sister, actually, I've been meaning to call you, or, the house down the street from me is for sale, and I think my cousin should buy it. It just kind of opens the door to communicating about that.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So I think that reminds me of like the bowl, what we just learned in Bowl 2.0, the forced sandwich, where it's like talk about the family occupation, recreation dream, slide in a little business conversation, and finish it up with the Ford.
Right.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Hernan, for that, for your question. Again, *6 will open it up. If you got a question, dial in. We'll go from there. I might get my question in about your client event. So you mentioned you're doing focusing on some other events. Are you marketing all of the events to all of your people in your database, or are you like carving out specific demographics for different events?
No, we're inviting all of our Mets. So as our Mets are growing, our events are getting bigger. depending on the event. Some of our people are secondary homeowners, so we have a real push right now to try to get as many events in while they're here, rather than them having to travel here in the off season when they otherwise wouldn't necessarily do that. But no, we're pretty much opening it up to all Mets, except for the networking event, which is in industry, which we're opening that up to possible recruits.
Gotcha. Okay. So even no matter big or small event, you're inviting everybody, and then whoever can get a ticket can get a ticket.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a chance. We haven't had, that we had to turn people away at the door. So I guess when that happens, we'll probably be celebrating and, think about that going forward. But we are asking the people to RSVP. So we know ahead of time how many people are coming, at least, with the people who have a level of interest of coming. So it's not like we're just, hey, we're open door, come if you can. And, we might get too big of a turnout that we can, provide a great value for. I definitely wouldn't want that to happen. But with asking for the RSVPs, we pretty much know how many people are coming.
Sure. And that's the whole, paralysis by analysis. Some people are like, oh, what if no one comes? And then it's like, well, what if everyone wants to come? Then what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
Awesome. And the funny thing is if they don't come, that's okay too, because the reason why we're doing this is to stay top of mind. At the end of the day, if we can't we want to get belly to belly, but if we can, at least top of mind is the next best thing.
Sure, it's just the touches and the fact that you've included them in
exactly
the correspondence has made the difference.
Yep,
that's awesome. Cool. Any other questions that from the audience? I know we've got quite a few people on the call. If you have a question, *6 will open it up. We got another couple of minutes here, and then, let's see. That was all the questions that I pretty much had for you. I know that you mentioned a lot about how you're focusing on profit and staying profitable. I know that's a big push, especially as your team gets bigger. It tends to get a lot of different. It's hard to cut the fat always out of that.
Yeah.
And so what were some of the things that you put on the chopping block to then be able to say, okay, we're going to cut this, cut that, to be able to ensure that profitability was there?
Yeah, I mean, we're still in the process of cutting as much, like every month I'm reevaluating everything, and I'm cutting out anything that hasn't brought back any kind of return on investment, even if it's something we were doing for the long haul. We didn't expect immediate results. We're pretty much cutting everything out. And I could tell you my biggest concern, and the reason why I'm acting like that, is because I was in the market when the market shifted back in 2007, and I was not prepared. And I wasn't obviously with KW then, so I didn't know any better. And that is something I actually shifted right out of the business. I kind of got in this position where I was spending more than I was even making. I wasn't even breaking even. And I had two young kids, and I said, you know what, I can't work under this pressure anymore. I need to take a break from real estate. And I actually did. I took a 2-year break. I didn't know which way to turn. I was with a small brokerage, and I left that small brokerage. I went to Prudential, which is now Berkshire, and they didn't really have much to help me out with there. So I just flat out said, you know what, I'm going to put my license in referral for a couple of years. I was a consistent, $3, $4, $5 million producer back then every year. And I just pretty much hung it up because I couldn't deal with the pressure. And I didn't know an alternative way. So this time when I came back, I said, I'm going to do it a lot different. And one of the things that my main focus is on cutting the expenses, because it should be, not profit minus expenses. I mean, not income minus expenses equals profit. It should be income minus your profit. Take your money first, and then you pay your expenses.
Yep.
Powerful stuff. It's a great book.
Sure. Yeah, sure, no doubt. Cool. All right. Well, so that's all the questions I had for you. And if no one else has got a question, we'll kind of leave it at that. And so, Emily, I so appreciate you being on the call. I know we had a lot of people from around the state and around the country jumping on. If you could, real quick, tell us where you're at and then what's the best way to get referrals to you.
Yeah, you can email me at emilymarchese@KW, or you can look me up on Kelly. I'm with Keller Williams Jersey Shore. I'm in the Margate office, which the Margate is right near Atlantic City, so pretty much Atlantic County, Cape May County, Ocean County, everything pretty much from Seaside Heights south down towards Cape May. So anywhere in South Jersey, I'm your girl.
Awesome. Well, hey, I so appreciate you carving out some time to be on the call today. Again, I will have this recording up hopefully within the next 24 hours to everyone who was on the call. And so I truly appreciate everybody who jumped on the call today, and I trust it was worth your value and time. Next month in July, we're going to be interviewing Alyssa Howard, who runs her business primarily through client events, and she's a $2 million GCI producer, so she'll be on our call next month. So keep an eye open for it, and thanks so much, and have a great day.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
You too.